Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. Wow, Team Crawford, Bob Arum says that Shawn Porter is a plan B, like the pregnancy pill, and the real number one option for Terrence Bud Crawford is Manny Pacquiao, but Porter is in the running as a plan B in case that doesn't happen. We're going to talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to everybody who ordered UFC 259 using my link. It does help the channel in a phenomenal way. Bob Arum, let's get to his quote. He says, quote, "The Pacquiao group is working with people in the Middle East who are real people, and they are going to finance this." And he says this referring to Pacquiao versus Crawford. If they come up with the money and finance this fight, if they come up with the money, that's what he said. If they come up with the money and finance this fight, then we'll do the fight in the country, in this country in the Middle East. He goes on to say, Top Rank would be used by the country to work all the details of all the promotion and all that type of thing. But the people in the country would be the actual promoters of the fight, and it would be a big opportunity for Terrence Crawford to fight Manny Pacquiao. Right? So he says either of them, in my opinion, Pacquiao or Porter, either of them, in my opinion, is interesting fights, but obviously Pacquiao is Pacquiao. And if Pacquiao can get into the ring with Crawford, obviously that's the way Terrence Crawford would want to go. Right? So he's saying that Crawford, again, could fight Pacquiao in the Middle East. Listen, same song and dance. This is literally becoming a broken record, and we're hearing the same kind of conversations over and over and over. And it's like, what is boxing? What gives with boxing, where you see the continued effort from certain people to create these storylines or narratives, whatever you want to call them, and it looks bad. Like Ryan Garcia, he keeps saying he's going to fight Gervonta next and he's fighting Pacquiao. And then when it doesn't happen, I feel like that's a bad look. I don't know. Maybe I just come from a different cloth or a different era. But Bob Arum has been talking about Crawford and Pacquiao for years. Team Crawford has been talking about this for years. They're talking about this fight in the Middle East for years. And what gives? Like, if the fight with Crawford and Pacquiao is truly done or close to being done, then some of these quotes I feel would be different. He literally says, we're looking to do Pacquiao Crawford in the Middle East, right? So, okay, he's making it sound like it's an option. But then the direct quote is, quote, if they come up with the money and finance the fight. So isn't that a pretty big if the whole fight is contingent on these imaginary people and princes and, owners of the kingdom to come up with the money? It doesn't sound like a concrete plan, people, if they come up with the money. So, I don't know. It just sounds like, have you ever met that person that just lies for no reason and says like, man, I'm going to get a new Bentley. And you never see that new Bentley from the person. It's like, stop. Like, it gets to a point where I don't think people want to even hear you say it anymore. They just want to see it come into fruition and see it materialize. And that's where I'm at. Crawford is a terrific fighter. He has a promoter who's been in the game for years, but all this Pacquiao talk sounds cap. In addition, you have outside parties, somebody who left Top Rank for similar reasons in terms of like disagreements at the top or whatever, and Mikey Garcia, who recently said F Bob Arum, and Mikey Garcia literally told you that in an exclusive interview, he's fighting Pacquiao and they're finalizing. So Mikey Garcia, he hasn't looked to be a liar in the sport of boxing. He said he wanted to fight Errol Spence, and he followed through. He got the attention in the ears of the people who mattered, and Fox, they put that fight on the network. I know because I went there. So Mikey Garcia consistently has provided realistic information. So I really don't see why Mikey Garcia would make this up that he's going to fight Pacquiao, which is a very logical fight, especially since Pacquiao was trying to fight Conor McGregor. We know that. And he had the same management and stuff like that. The fight fell apart because Conor McGregor got upset by a guy he had previously beat in Dustin Poirier, right? So at the end of the day, I think Pacquiao, that seems like a fight he would take. If you were going to fight Conor McGregor, then maybe fight Manny Pacquiao, who has a loss at welterweight, but other than that, he's undefeated. He's a great fighter, and he's Latino. He's Mexican American, so you could tap into that formula that has been successful for Pacquiao, fighting the likes of Barrera and Eric Morales, and several fights with those guys, and also Juan Manuel Marquez, Brandon Rios, etc., David Diaz. So that formula has worked for Pacquiao. So to me, that sounds a lot more logical than what we're hearing from Team Crawford and or Bob Arum. Mikey Garcia is talking about fighting Pacquiao, saying they're finalizing details. I watch and, follow all these fighters. So Pacquiao, he's in the middle of training. So if Bob Arum is saying statements like, if these legendary people, like there's no like, oh, this perform group or boom, boom, boom. He's not even putting a name to it. So why would I believe that there's some, prince of the UAE that is willing to and wants to finalize the fight? Bob Arum has also stated in the past that a lot of these fights, when he had Pacquiao, Amir Khan was talking about fighting against Pacquiao in the UAE, and Bob Arum he at times denounced that and says there's a lot of investors that say they're down, but when it comes to putting ink on the paper, those investors back out and they don't show us the money, so those fights never happen. But now Crawford's career is kind of getting the runaround with this notion that he could fight Pacquiao, and it doesn't seem likely. Like I said, you could believe me, you can listen to what I'm saying, Ego Stradamus, or not. It is an extremely bad look that they're dangling this carrot over Terrence Crawford's head about a Pacquiao fight. And for 6 years, this Pacquiao fight has not happened, maybe even longer at this point. They were with the same network. They were both with HBO. They're both with ESPN at a point. They were both with Top Rank, and the fight never happened. So now that Pacquiao has teamed up with other people, left Top Rank, teamed up with Al Heyman, teamed up with Conor McGregor's management company, you mean to tell me now this is the golden opportunity and the time to get that fight done? In addition to that, Bob Arum has thrown his own fighter under the bus, saying I'm losing money off of him. So Pacquiao already came out and said he wants $40 million to fight Pacquiao. How are you going to get $40 million if Bob Arum has already slandered his own fighter? Or, I can't say slander. Maybe it's true. He's alleging that these financial losses are true, but he's already thrown his own fighter under the bus and stated that Bud Crawford is losing him money in his last several fights. Why would Pacquiao fight him? What investor is going to put up large sums of money for a Crawford Pacquiao fight? Yes, it's a good fight as far as like styles and all that, but Bob Arum just told the whole world and everyone who would listen on different interviews with The Athletic and others that Terrence Crawford loses him money. So again, that doesn't really make sense that you have this investor. Like if you're a billionaire investor, millionaire, the reason and the way you stay rich is to make smart investments. So I can't really see none of this stuff being true because the rich are trying to stay rich or get richer. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, why would somebody be willing to potentially lose money when you've already told the world that Crawford has lost you money in the last 3 fights, right? Pacquiao's been on an inactive spell. He hasn't fought since Keith Thurman. So who's to say that this is $100 million fight between Crawford and Pacquiao to the point where someone wants to front and float this big money, you know? So it just doesn't sound real what we're hearing from Bob Arum and this Pacquiao talk. So I think they should really probably hone down on a Shawn Porter fight. I think Shawn Porter is a great fight for Terrence Crawford. It's a mandatory. I think it's more reasonable. You also don't have anyone else like Mikey Garcia saying, hey, I'm fighting Shawn Porter. But Mikey Garcia is saying, hey, guys, I'll be fighting Pacquiao. So you guys can believe whatever you want. You can listen to me. The reason I'm saying everything is because of what I see, you know. So you can act oblivious to the truth and what we see. To me, all in all, Pacquiao leaving Top Rank, the Pacquiao fight becomes harder to make. And again, if you really had this UAE money or kingdom money for Pacquiao Crawford, then why would you still be at this point talking about if people front the cash and if they finance the fight, if the money comes in? You know what I'm saying? It seems like at this point, since Pacquiao's already training, that you would have already sewed that up. So most likely, look forward to Ego Stradamus being accurate and Pacquiao fighting Mikey Garcia next, not Terrence Crawford. Again, as always, if I'm wrong, if the great Ego Stradamus is wrong with any of these videos, I will make you a follow-up video where I talk about it. But when I'm right, just give me my credit. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if you believe that Crawford and Pacquiao 6 years later is the next fight for Crawford or Pacquiao in the comment section. Or do you believe it could be another fight? Drop your thoughts in the comment section as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.